Welcome to NEXTGames Odyssey series. This video covering the Sheol Gaol NM Bumba. Now in this video we'll go over the Bumba battle strategy, and then I'll show you a battle example of the fight against Bumba with my segment static team. Now Bumba is a mob from the worm family that I'm sorry to say not a huge amount is known about at this time. However, I do have two battle examples to show you, one not successful and the other very successful, so that hopefully this helps us figure out the details of this new boss of Odyssey. Now I intend to release a more complete guide once the strategies to take him on are more defined and clear. So let's go ahead and get into what we do know about him. Now you will use the same Mogulphone 2 entry item to take him on that you did the previous 3 Atonement NMs. Now, for many weeks now, we have been curious as to why we need 3 Mogulphone 2s to enter when the most common sense strategy would be to exit after you kill a single NM. Well, we finally have at least part of that answer. It's been discovered that if you wipe in a run and it kicks you out to the lobby, you can then re-enter that same NM run, of course on different jobs, and take on that same NM on the hit point level that he was previously at. So in a worst case scenario, you really only need to take away 33% of his hit points with each of your Mogulphones, and expending all 3, you would still beat the NM. So keep this in mind when you are planning your party setups for the run, so that you already have backup jobs planned for your second and third Mogulphones should you fail and choose to re-enter for the win. I'm sure utilizing this method will become more and more important as we get higher in the vengeance levels. Now let's go ahead and start talking about the NM. Now based on our limited sample size, the NM appears to absorb a random element or type of damage at different times, so you're just going to have to pay attention to your log and make sure he's not absorbing whatever type of skill chain, magic, or end spell damage you're doing. We've also noticed that Chastise, which will deal light AoE damage, seems to open the red-blue proc window, but again, more testing is needed. Red and blue proc have been observed to be many things, so I'm sorry I can't really say exactly which things trigger his red proc. It really could just be random or change every time. I can say thus far, people have reported that critical hits open a red proc window at times, and that the blue stagger is actually achieved by a light skill chain. Now in regards to the other abilities, this is what you'll see. We've seen Denounce, which is an AoE hit points reduced to 10% of its maximum, will also inflict Paralyze, Defense Down, and Magic Defense Down. Heaven's Grace will restore hit points to the NM. Rending Blow is a 4 aspect dispel, but only on a single target. Scorching Luminescence is an AoE damage and dia, and Repelling Shout is a light damage single target ability. Now sadly on our first run we encountered a glitch where someone started to DC right as we selected the NM to enter for the fight itself. Now this resulted in the person not transporting to the NM field with us, and even though we waited to engage until he was returned and back in the party, he still could not join us. It said that we were already busy in the battlefield. So keep this in mind in your run and make sure that no one is DCing before you click on that NM, or it's going to pretty much ruin your run. In ours, it was the Corsair that got trapped outside, which, as we learned, is the majority of our damage. Now, by today when we went to enter, we had actually heard that if you do not enfeeble him, then he will not use Denounce, and he'll actually be a much easier fight. So that's the strategy we went in with, and wow, the fight really went well. Additionally, you want to be sure that your weapon skills won't skill chain, or that if they do skill chain, you're not going to cure him with that skill chain, because that can definitely prolong the fight and make it more challenging. So this means you should either ahead of time select weapon skills that won't skill chain, or if you really want to get in that skill chain damage, go ahead and select weapon skills that skill chain, but make sure you pay attention to the log. And if you see that you cure him, make sure you are already prepared to switch to a different set of skill chains on a separate element. In the party that we went with today, we had a Paladin, White Mage, Bard, Red Mage, Dark Knight, and Corsair. We had a second and third set of jobs planned in case we needed it, but it turns out we only needed about 2 minutes. Enjoy the run, everyone. And that'll be it for episode 18 of Sheol Gaol. I hope you found that helpful. I'll be sure to release a more complete video when more is learned of this particular NM. Stay safe and stay healthy out there, everyone.